While it wears its influences on its sleeve, Ubisoft's new side-scrolling roguelite steals many of the genre's best ideas and puts them to good use. The game sees the titular Prince of Persia defending his lands from a Hunnic invasion and uses the series' time-bending mechanics to set up the roguelite gameplay loop. Every time the prince dies, his amulet returns him to the beginning of the day so he can take another run at saving his people. The side-scrolling mechanics are smooth and allow an ease of play that connects the game to the series' roots in fluid movement and animation. A jump, dash, and wall run allow quick traversal of maps that are as vertical as they are horizontal. Speaking of level design, the procedural generation produces interesting and varied levels that are easy enough to traverse even if your reflexes are not great, but will have shortcuts or secrets behind more difficult feats of acrobatics. Combat is handled via a melee attack button, a limited ranged attack button, a kick button, and with the aforementioned dash doing double duty as a vault button when dashing into enemies. The addition of both taps and holds on the attack button, along with different weapon types, makes the combat deep and satisfying, even with its lack of overt complexity. Adding to this depth is various traits you slot into a chain of 4, with abilities buffing and modifying each other in the chain to create a lot of variation. Examples include creating pools of slowing tar or clouds of poison gas when you kick an enemy into an obstacle. Enemy variety is good with the classic lineup of victims: long-range thrusters with spears, quick attackers that close to overwhelm, and everything in between. Attacks are telegraphed enough to ensure you have time to react. Some enemies will also have additional mechanics, like a shield that prevents damage and interrupts, or even a group of the same enemy can be made more interesting by the addition of a variant. Bosses will show up every few levels that have attack patterns familiar to anyone who has played a side-scroller boss fight. These enemies are going to kill you. A lot. Each death places you back at a camp, but various persistent mechanics allow you to upgrade and unlock new weapons and traits for future runs. Along with persistent unlocks, the game's story progresses by finding bits of information in the world that fill out a mind map, and will unlock new maps that can be accessed in future runs. The rogue's art and music direction are fantastic. Bright colors and smooth animations make movement and exploration as visually satisfying as the gameplay. And the music's fusion of classical Middle Eastern sounds and modern electronic music creates a soundscape reminiscent of Hades, a game that the Rogue is also borrowing a lot from. The Rogue, Prince of Persia, is a game that is surprising to see come out of a big publisher like Ubisoft. It is not advancing the genre, but it does everything it needs to well and is not shy about using what works. This is an extremely promising early access. If you've enjoyed entries into the genre before, there is no reason you won't enjoy the Rogue Prince of Persia currently, and even more once it has been updated and completed. The Rogue Prince of Persia Early Access earns an 8 out of 10.